have a bigger group today, so please come closer. Yeah.
Sure. I might be blocking other people. How about yours?
Okay, now, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Okay. Now we are at the Longshan Temple, and we have traveled back to the Qing Dynasty, which was the Chinese government that ruled Taiwan before. But here's the question: how did the Chinese come to Taiwan? They have to cross the sea. How did they come to Taiwan?
Boat.
Yeah, by boat or by ship, right? So they have to cross the Taiwan Strait. We call it Taiwan Strait. And in the past, we also called it the Black Ditch because the water was very dangerous, the current, the wave was very strong. So there's a saying about this. If 10 people are trying to cross the sea, 6 people would die, 3 people would succeed. And how about the last one? The last one would just regret and return back to home. So the success rate was very, very low. And even though they eventually successfully reached to Taiwan, it was still very difficult for them to rebuild their career and family. So they started seeking spiritual support, and they started building a lot of temples. But why did they choose to build Longshan Temple? There's a story about this. In the past, a man wanted to pee next to the tree, but to show his respect, he hung the sachet on the tree. But after peeing, he forgot. This is how the sachet looks. And after peeing, he forgot to bring a sachet with him, and the sachet was glowing on the tree and catch the attention of nearby residents. And those people, they are really curious about what was growing there. So they walked close to the tree, and they found out there was some word written on the sachet. Longshan Temple were written on the sachet. So they believed that it was a sign from the god. So they decided to build this temple here. And before we get into the temple, there are 2 things we have to pay attention to. The first thing is we can notice that there are 3 doors in front of us. Which one we are going to enter from? Yeah, why? Because entrance is right in there. Okay, you're so smart. Yeah, actually, the right one, this is dragon door. Dragon is related to good luck in traditional Chinese culture. So enter from the dragon door means it can bring us good luck. And how about the left one? This one is the tiger door. Tiger is associated with disaster. So leaving from tiger door means we can avoid misfortune. And how about the middle one? This is the largest one. So this is for VIP, such as high-ranking officials like president and other deities. And the second thing we have to pay attention to is when we enter to a temple, there is a threshold on the ground. And women should stay over it with the right foot, men should stay over it with the left foot. And this is because in traditional Chinese culture, women belong to yin, which is on the right side. Men belong to yang, which is on the left side. And if you think it's a little bit hard to remember, I have some tips for you. We always say that happy wife, happy life. So women are always right. Yeah. So that's the reason why women should stay over here with their right foot. Okay, let's get into the temple.
Women is always right.
Woman is always right.
Women. So, we're done that X on the corner. ai bỏ vô trong tủ.
Mở ra hả?
Không, đóng lại, đóng lại.
Come closer, everyone.
Please come over here. And if one can stay in the shade from here. But today we have a lot of people in the temple, so maybe we cannot find the bigger shade for everyone. Please join us.
Okay. So now we are in the middle hall of Longshan Temple, and in Taiwan the religion is very diverse. So you can see God from Buddhism, Taoism, or folk beliefs in one temple. And for Longshan Temple, the main God is Guanyin Buddha from Buddhism. She is just like our mother, so people come here and tell her about our problems or our concerns and how she can help us. But why do people believe in her so much? It's about a story. During World War II, Taiwan was bombarded by the U.S. military because at that time, Taiwan was still a colony of Japan. So people often saw refuge at this temple, but one day, a lot of mosquitoes appeared, and it was like the whole night. So people couldn't fall asleep. It was so unbearable, and eventually people left this temple. And after a few days, this temple was bombarded by the U.S. military because they thought this temple was a government office. And after a while, when people came back and checked around, they found out the statue of Guanyin Buddha remained unharmed and complete. So they believed that it was the God sending messages to mosquitoes to avoid people from staying at this temple and protect them. So maybe sending messages to mosquitoes is a way for God to communicate with people. How do people communicate with a God? There are three ways for us. The first way is like the incense stick. We believe that when the smoke goes out, our message also goes out. And the second way is to cast a moon box. So this is how the moon box looks like. And because the shape looks like moon, so we call it moon block. And you might get three possible answers from this. The first one is this one, the positive answer. It means the God is saying yes. And the second is this. It's a laughing answer. It means the God is laughing at you. He doesn't want to tell you the answer. And the third one is an angry answer because it looks like an angry mouse. So it means the God saying no, he gives you negative response. And if you want to ask a God question, you have to tell him who you are, where you are from. So for example, I'm going to demonstrate. For example, I'm Cindy and I'm from New Taipei City. And I'm wondering that if I can get a boyfriend before the end of this year, and then I cast the moon box. Also, yeah, I get a positive answer. It's a happy day for me.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So this is how it works. And if you got an angry answer or a laughing answer, it means maybe it's not the right time for you to ask the question, or maybe you should rephrase your question and ask it again. And the third way is for someone who needs more detailed guidance. You can draw the fortune telling sticks, and this is over there, and there are some numbers on each stick. So you can get the fortune telling point with the corresponding number on the stick. And even for me, as a Mandarin native speaker, sometimes I don't know what it exactly means. So you can ask help from the staff at this temple or fortune teller at this temple. And let's take a look at this incense burner. We can notice there are 4 strong men holding the incense burner. Would you like to guess where they are from? I can give you some hints. As I mentioned earlier, there are 2 countries. They set up companies in Taiwan before, the Dutch and the Spanish. So try to guess where they are from. Sorry? No, the Dutch and the Spanish. Spanish? Any different answer? Spanish or the Dutch? Spanish? No, actually the answer is the Dutch. Because they control Taiwan business, food business for a longer time than the Spanish, right? They kick out the Spanish. So actually they are the Dutch. And it's kind of like a funny way for Taiwanese to punish them, because when they set up company in Taiwan, they force Taiwanese to work so hard for them. So it's of like funny ways for Taiwanese to punish them. But I think Taiwanese are still very generous because they are still holding money. It means Taiwanese are still paying them, right? Yeah. So yeah, I think Taiwanese are still very kind. And let's move on to the real hole.
This way.
面线做的上。他先去烤。
Is this your GoPro?
Yeah.
You are a YouTuber?
Yeah. Also, yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. We have everyone. Okay, so the first god in the real hole I'm going to introduce is the god of education, and he is in charge of study and exam. So he is very important for students. In Mandarin, we call him 文昌帝君. And in Taiwan, the study environment is very competitive. So we take a lot of importance on sport. We believe that you have to do very well on the test to get a good job, to get a good salary. And in Taiwan, we have our own version of ABCD. We know that we use ABCD to categorize the score, right? In Taiwan, we have our own version. A maybe means average, B means below average, and C means can't have dinner, and D means don't go home. And how about F? Maybe find a new family, I don't know. Yeah, so that's Taiwanese version of ABCD. And I would say that the study environment was very stressful because the students, they will still be sent to the Korean school after school, and their parents will pick them up before the dinner time. And sometimes they even have to go to the Korean school on weekends. And since they are at a very young age, they have to learn some talents like music, sport, exercise, besides their subject in the school. So they have to learn a lot. They have to spend a lot of time learning. And I still remember when I studied in junior high school and senior high school before the college entrance exam and senior high school entrance exam. My mom took me to this temple and we prepared an admission ticket. My photo was on this to let God know who I am. We prepared this as an offering, and some of my classmates also prepare their own stationery, like eraser or pen. We know that the eraser had like 4 sides, right? So they were A, B, C, D on each side. And when they don't know the answer during the exam, they will throw the eraser. And if they get A, they will write A as their answer. So that they believe that the God will help them through this way. And some people also prepare scallion and celery as offerings because in Mandarin it sounds like intelligence and diligence. And also some people also prepare sticky rice dumpling and cake and bun because in Mandarin it sounds like bao.
网上内容全部都挤在这里，这是一通路嘛，通道。
So because in Mandarin, these 3 things sounds like 包高走 means wish your goal.